Good morning. I'm experimenting with a new camera angle. I was hiking with Hootie yesterday, and she's got a YouTube channel, but she suggested using the front camera on wide angle. It doesn't allow me to compose the frame or look behind me, but it may offset the framing problems I had with not having a selfie stick or some way to get the camera further away from my face. Being able to go wide angle using the front camera, plus it's a higher quality camera to begin with. So we'll give that a shot. See, I know that I've got long stretch Armstrong arms if I do it out like this. But anyway, I thought that was cute when I was playing around with it earlier. Yeah, so I got like a 14, just under 14 mile day today. There's a shelter that's on what was historically the AT, and to take the new AT bypasses the shelter, or to get to that shelter you've got like over a mile of backtrack. So I think I'm going to be trying for the historic AT down to the shelter today, and that's going to be about a 13.5 mile day. We've also got the Lemon Squeezer. We've also got 1,400 miles, both of which to look out for today. And I think I need to stop here at this weird stone sluice way and get some water if it's not too brown, because I'm completely out of water since breakfast. So I got water there. This is the spillway, or the outlet from Island Pond just over there, and don't know if it comes off the bottom of the lake or the top of the lake, but it was very warm, like warmer than ambient, and slightly tinted, not too bad in terms of tannins or whatever tints water like that, but it's so warm. What makes it so warm? I don't know. Anyway, like most creeks aren't air temperature, but I guess lake water is stationary enough to heat up to hold some temperature from the hot days we've had, I guess. The landscape this morning is really pretty. We've been climbing little rock hills like this up and down all day yesterday. Some small, some not so small, but it's like it just continues. Is this the Lemon Squeezer already? Alright, I'm gonna have to put my phone away for this one. And who knows about my pack. Not really sure how I'm gonna get through here with my backpack. When I wear it, it feels like it wedges in there too tight and scrapes. But it's almost too heavy to drag by its handle. As you know, it's full food, full water. And the ground's muddy. I don't want to just like drag it through the mud, really. I don't know. I'll have to figure something out. So here's what it looks like from the other side. You got narrower and narrower, but once you're at the narrowest part where you wouldn't fit through, you're high enough up the ramp. So I'll show you what I mean. The ground gets higher and higher, and you can just kind of throw your backpack over the top or slip out of it and step up onto the rim. But really you just have to hold your body at a weird angle till you get to that point. All right. I topped out another climb. Big part of that climb was through the lemon squeezer, but look how picturesque this mountaintop is. But already headed back down. I'm here by the stream, about to refill water. The stream still looks very murky brown, and the water I've been drinking all morning has a very kind of mild tea flavor. Yeah, this stuff is even darker than what was coming out at the bottom of the island pond back there. But it's flowing, so I'm gonna treat it. And well, I'm here at the shelter side trail. I'm gonna pop into this shelter. It's barely under 3 miles in on the day already, and I am ragingly hungry, so I may reconsider my 5 days of food as 4 days of food and just figure out how to get into resupply earlier than I had anticipated. But I'm gonna go down to the shelter and eat something. Gosh, these mountaintops are just so gorgeous, I have to say. With the tall grasses between the spaced out trees and the boulders everywhere. So this shelter sits on top of a large rock. It's made of smaller rocks, but it's really, really gorgeous. Needs a broom though. There's no broom. And the floor is atrocious. I had one in almost the exact same spot 24 hours ago. All right, he's about to meet his maker. That little shelter was well camouflaged against the backdrop, being made of stone. What, you don't see it? Well, that's a 4, not a 9, so 1400. And proof that I was there. I'm partway down this incredibly steep reverse boulder scramble down from some kind of summit I was just on. 1400 miles. What does that mean? 794 to go? That doesn't seem like a lot. Here's another prettier one, easier to read, better scale. It's just a few dozen yards past the previous one. It's hard to get it all in one frame. Here we are, 1400 miles. So, I started on this, what is this year technically a blue blaze, or a retro blaze, to get to a shelter that's no longer technically on the Appalachian Trail. and to access some water sources right before the shelter, both of which are bypassed by the current AT. And so if you were to take the actual AT to get to this shelter, it would involve like a mile or two of backtracking tomorrow. Call it a mile of backtracking tomorrow, a half mile each way, and 2 additional miles of trail with no access to water. So I'm taking the Blue Blaze, call it retro blazing. I don't feel guilty about it, and it's the most direct way to this shelter as well. All right, we've reached the turnoff for the shelter. Got a nice view of the hills going off in the distance, but shelter, and it's quite a long ways down to the shelter, maybe like 0.4, and it's not down. I think it's just kind of rolling up and down, but small steps. Here come the guys. Who's here? Who's here? Hello. Campsite up here is gorgeous, as well as the shelter, but I'm gonna have a hard time finding hammock trees. There's a large day camp group that's camping down on what looks like a pretty good flat spot area down below the shelter, and there's 3 or 4 tents up here, and there's bear cables, but there's like really high grass or like scrubby little trees between all the what look like dead hammock trees. So I'm gonna have to traipse around up here on this mountaintop and see what I can find.